everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And we're talking about self-care tips for teens. Now, this is especially useful for young people who often don't pay enough attention to their self-care, right? They got a lot of things
stuff going
to do.
on.
Maybe they don't know about some of these things that they can do. Well, did you do any of these self-care things, especially the ones we might have learned about yesterday, yoga, meditation, or doing creative things? When you were a young person?
When I was younger, I did a lot of exercise because I played volleyball.
Right. You were a great volleyball player.
And so that was like my thing. And that was like, you have a super stressful day or you've got a big test coming up. But for those 2 hours or however long that you're at practice, you just don't think about anything and you just focus on playing. And that I found to be super relaxing. Also, it made you be able to fall asleep because you'd be exhausted by the end of the day.
And that helps you too, right? Because
you
get a good night's sleep, and that helps you with stress.
Well, what about you?
And so, do you still exercise when you're stressed? When you can?
Now it's not as much because volleyball is hard to find people to kind of play with here for me at this age. But I take a lot of walks. I like to be outside and at least moving.
So you still find that getting the exercise helps you in the ways it used to. I never really did the meditation thing. The creative stuff. I played music when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was in a band with my friends. We would play on the weekends, and that was a good fun time when you had especially a weekend of exams or something. You could take a couple hours to play music, and I still do that today. So music has often been a way I relax, and it helps you with your social life too, just to get together with friends and have fun. And I guess the other thing for me, reading. Reading is very relaxing.
I used to read every night too, actually. That's true.
Good to be quiet and just sit down and enjoy a good book. So lots of ways you can relax. You don't have to be going om as you meditate, but that works too if that's what you like to do. And we're going to get some more great self-help tips coming up in part 2 right now.
Spend time socializing. Self-care activities that involve socializing are also beneficial for mental and physical health. According to scientists, talking with friends about what's happening in one's life releases chemicals in the brain that promote well-being. But socializing doesn't have to be limited to conversations. You could also play board games, work on group art projects, or do volunteer work with your friends. Connect with nature. Time spent outdoors can help you lift your mood and look at life from a different angle. So go on a hike, ride your bike, or simply take a walk in the park. Take your eyes off your phone and look at the trees and sky.
Okay, so welcome back to Self-Care Tips for Teens, Part 2. So we're going to jump right into our next tip for how to kind of take better self-care of yourself.
Okay.
And that is spend time socializing.
Sure.
Yes.
Spend time with your friends.
Yes, actually get out, meet people, talk to people. And so we have a little bit of an explanation on this with self-care activities that involve socializing are also beneficial for mental and physical health.
True.
Yes, and so this is a really good way to kind of keep your spirits up as you get out, talk with friends, meet with people, all that kind of stuff. And we had a word here, involve, which is a verb that means to include or things that are a part of something. So if you are involving, so for example, in our sentence we have Frank's exercise plan involves a total of 70 minutes of running and swimming. So his plan is made up of these 70 minutes of running and swimming. It involves, it includes, it is made up of that thing. So that is our word, involve.
Absolutely. You could say, my story involves something that happened to me and my friends when we went camping. This is kind of the basic idea. There will be more to it, but this is a big part of it. It includes this as a main issue or a main theme. And here we also had this word mental. It's an adjective. When we use mental, we're talking about the mind, especially when we're talking about your health, medicine, or problems you might have with your body. Mental problems means you have problems with your mind, with your thoughts, with your emotions, not with how your brain is actually working, not how the blood is flowing in the brain, but your feelings, your mood, your emotions, things like that. If you feel sad all the time and can never feel happy, that's a mental problem. And of course, you can see doctors of different types and get medicine of different types. I think more and more people know that mental health is just as important as physical health, right? People always know that a broken leg or a heart attack is important, but now we know that being stressed or being depressed or being worried all the time, these are not good things. So your mental health is as important as your physical health. Here's an example sentence. One theory suggests that children go through 4 different stages of mental development. Okay, I don't know what those are, but I can imagine one of them involves sucking your thumb.
Yeah, probably like
not going to the bathroom in the normal place.
Yeah, and maybe starting to talk.
Starting to talk, making friends, things like that. Anyways, yes, our minds, the way we act and behave, our mental process does change as we get older. All right, back to the article. According to scientists, talking with friends about what's happening in one's life releases chemicals in the brain that promote well-being. Sure, you got problems, talk about them with your friends. All the time that you spend with your friends doesn't have to be about having fun and going places and doing cool stuff. It can also just be talking about your feelings, and that can be really good for you.
Yes, it can help you kind of release some of your stress. And that is one of the words that we saw in this little section of the reading, which is release. Release means to kind of let go or to let something go. And so in this case, if you're holding on to stress and then you do something that relaxes you,
meditation,
then you release. And then you release the stretch. And actually, that's something that a lot of people do in yoga. They will tell you to hold the stretch, and then they'll say release. So then you can kind of relax and let go.
Interesting.
And so we have this example sentence that says, the plastic making process releases harmful gases into the air. So when you're making plastic, as you're making that plastic, the chemicals kind of release or come off of that and release into the air and are let go into the air. Not a great thing.
No, that's not a good thing. Releasing your stress is good. Releasing pollution into the environment, not so good. That gives me more stress, worrying about pollution. But we're talking about socializing. That will help you to release your stress and feel better. But it says, but socializing doesn't have to be limited to conversations. You don't just have to talk when you're with your friends. Doing stuff with your friends can be just as much fun and good for you too. You could also play board games, work on group art projects, or do volunteer work with your friends, or just go places, hang out with your friends, have fun. But the important thing is here, you're having fun with other people, not just alone, you and your phone or on the computer or something like that.
Yeah, because people are social creatures.
Yes,
so even though a lot of people like to spend time by themselves, it is still important to connect with other people and socialize some, because that's just the way our bodies are wired, is to have some kind of connection with people. So it's still important to get out and meet people, and then if you need a little bit afterwards to kind of stay by yourself, that's okay too.
Yeah, and you might say, well, I socialize with my friends online all the time. We're always talking and video chatting. People have been around for, around 300,000 years, so we've been doing it face-to-face much longer, so there is a big difference between doing it online and doing it face-to-face, and face-to-face is the way nature intended it, so you'll probably get the most benefit if you actually get together and be with the people you like.
Yes, and speaking of nature, we have our next tip, which is to connect with nature. So in order to do this, you could
touch a tree.
Yeah, touch a tree.
I'm connecting with nature.
Smell the leaves and smell the grass and all that kind of stuff.
Put grass on my face. Connecting with nature.
Or you could do some of the things that they say here, which is time spent outdoors can help you lift your mood and look at life from a different angle.
Oh, so I don't actually have to connect by touching it.
No, you can just be outside.
I get it, okay.
So go on a hike, ride your bike, or simply take a walk in the park. Take your eyes off your phone and look at the trees and the sky. So kind of get out, get back to nature. Again, like you had said, humans have been around a long time, a lot longer than technology, so connecting with nature is just part of our wiring and our brain and all that stuff. So we need to be outside. We need to feel that kind of connection.
Absolutely. So yes, if you want to get in touch with nature, either by actually touching it or just being in it, go outdoors, because that's where nature is. Outdoors means you're outside. There are no walls or ceilings above you. There's trees and sky above you. The opposite, of course, if you're inside a building, you are indoors, all right? So if you're watching TV at home, you're indoors, but maybe you want to spend some time in the park or the playground or hiking in the mountains. No matter where it is, as long as you're not in a building, you are outdoors. For example, the weather is nice today, so let's study outdoors. Oh, remember when your teacher used to take you outdoors on a nice spring day and have English class in the park or something? That was fun, and you probably felt more relaxed
I
after.
did, definitely.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, that's all for the first part of our article, but we'll have more after this break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续来看自我照顾的诀窍。下一个诀窍就是花时间来社交。Socialize 这个动词就表示进行社交活动，跟人交际来往。好，那么课文写到说，需要社交交际的活动呢，是有益于身心健康的。根据科学家的说法，跟朋友谈论生活中发生的事，能够在大脑中释放促进健康的化学物质。不过，社交活动不限于交谈，你也可以跟朋友玩桌游啊，一起去当志工等等。那另外一个诀窍是接近大自然，我们待在户外就可以帮助自己提振精神了。来看单字 involve。Involve 这个动词表示需要、包含或是牵涉、涉及。那么 mental 是形容心理上的、精神上的，或是形容智力的。Release 这个动词则表示释放、发泄，像我们要表达释放情感，就可以用这个字表达。再来看 outdoors 这个副词是在户外、在野外的意思，那它的相反词就是 indoors， 表示在室内。Sam 老师刚刚提到说，人是群居动物嘛，那跟人往来是出于本能，我们可以用 be wired to do something 来表达出于本能的做某事。好，那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 according to， 表示根据，像是根据某人所言，或者是按什么所记载，像是某个资讯啊、报道等等，那是用来指出资讯来源。例如 according to Frank，the movie is worth seeing。根据 Frank 的说法，那部电影值得一看。那特别注意，你要表达自己的看法的时候，不能说 according to me 或是 according to my opinion， 不能引用自己的看法哦。我们可以用 in my opinion 来表达说依我看来的意思。下一个重点是 what 引导名词子句可以当主词、受词或是主词补语去表达点点点的事物。What 在这边相当于 the thing that 或者是 the things that。例如 What I need is some peace and quiet。 我需要的是片刻的安静。那么名词子句 What I need 就表示我所需要的事物，那它用来当主词必须当作单数来看，所以后面是搭配单数动词 is。 好，那我们接着回到课文中。
Pay attention to your diet. When it comes to self-care, the importance of proper nutrition can't be stressed enough. A poor diet can leave you feeling weak and unhappy, while a nutritious one energizes you. Try to cut down on or limit portions of convenience store snacks and fast food, which are typically loaded with salt, sugar, and solid fats. Eat more energy-boosting foods like fresh nuts, fruits, and vegetables. These self-care steps don't require a lot of time or effort. However, they will do wonders for improving your mental and physical health.
Welcome back, everyone. We're looking at good self-care tips for teens and, well, really anyone. These things can help everyone feel better. Mostly, we focused on mental things, right? Things to relax your mind, like meditation, socializing with friends, being outdoors with nature. But here's a physical one, because if your body is happy and healthy, it will make your mind stronger and you're going to be more relaxed, all that good stuff. So, what can you do for your body to make yourself happier? Pay attention to your diet. Yeah, be careful of what you eat. It's important for so many things. You might love to force pizza down your face like I do, but also having a salad once in a while can be good for you. It says, when it comes to self-care, the importance of proper nutrition can't be stressed enough. A poor diet can leave you feeling weak and unhappy, while a nutritious one energizes you. That's right. We can't stress it enough. It is very important. We can't tell you how important it is. It's so important. A bad diet will leave you weak and unhappy and tired and all that. A nutritious one, or a healthy diet with lots of fruit and vegetables, energizes you. It gives you power and energy.
Yes, we like to, in America, we like to say you are what you eat. And so whatever you eat, it kind of comes through in how you act. And so if you're eating kind of a lot of bread and heavy stuff, then you might feel kind of slow and kind of can't think very quickly. But if you've got a lot of good nutritious stuff, then you might be more energized and on it.
Yeah.
And so we see in the next part another tip that says, try to cut down on or limit portions of convenience store snacks and fast food, which are typically loaded with salt, sugar, and solid fats. Eat more energy-boosting foods like fresh nuts, fruits, and vegetables.
Good tip. And if
Yes.
you are what you eat, how many of you guys out there are fried chicken and instant noodles?
7-Eleven food.
Probably more than there should be, yeah. So it's a really good point. And those are actually some excellent foods. Nuts, fruits, and vegetables. Nuts especially, right? Healthy nuts.
A lot of people forget about how many
Right.
benefits nuts actually have.
Absolutely. Not necessarily peanuts, but a lot of the other nuts. Good healthy fats in there give you good energy. And we also have this word portion. Yeah, be careful of the size of the portions you eat. A portion is basically how much you get on one plate for a meal. When you're making food at home or you're on a diet, you might make smaller portions. But of course, when we go to restaurants and we get that big plate full of, the burger's huge and the French fries, there's so many of them, those are big portions. And like in our sentence, restaurants in America often serve very generous portions or very large portions.
Yes, and this is super true. If you go to America, you may consider sharing some dishes until you start to get used to how big they really are, because you will be surprised every time by how much food you get when you order something.
Or sometimes you can ask for a half portion.
Yes, or they'll have like a light or a snack size, something like that.
Okay.
And then we continue with our reading. We have these self-care steps don't require a lot of time or effort. However, they will do wonders for improving your mental and physical health.
Cool. So meditate, eat some fruit and nuts, maybe go out into nature and pick your own fruit with your friends, and then meditate, and then do yoga while you eat your apple.
Yes, okay.
Ooh, you'll be so relaxed.
You'll get it all in one.
All of it in one, yeah.
So we have a question here.
Yes.
Which tips do you agree with and why?
Well, I'd say looking at the last one, I think it's a good idea to be careful of what you eat. The reason for this is there are so many benefits from having a healthy diet, and also preparing your own food at home. That can be relaxing as well, and you'll eat less salt and fat and sugar and all that stuff. So I think there's a lot to be learned and a lot to be gained from being very careful of what you eat and how you eat.
Yeah.
All right, what about you? Any good tips to wrap it up?
I think this is all great, and I think that you should start now while you're younger to implement these habits, because if they can become habits now, then you'll be healthier and happier later in your life.
That's a great tip. Yeah, get these good habits going now, because then they'll just become part of your normal daily routine. And we wish you a very happy and healthy normal daily routine today and for many, many days into the future. Thanks for joining us. Take care of yourselves, each other, your bodies, your minds, the world, nature. Be good. Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
说到自我照顾，当然要有适当的营养咯，它的重要性再怎么强调都不为过。课文就写到说，不良饮食会让人虚弱不开心，那营养的饮食则可以让人活力充沛，所以要试着减少或是限制自己吃零食和速食的分量。这些东西啊，通常含有大量的盐啊、糖还有固体脂肪。我们应该要多吃能够提振精神的食物，像是新鲜的坚果啊、水果、蔬菜等等。我们来看单字 portion 这个名词，它表示一份或者是部分的意思。那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。 好，来看第一个重点是 when it comes to 加上名词或动名词，是表达说到什么、提及什么，用来引出跟主题相关的资讯。例如 I'm all thumbs when it comes to baking。说到烘焙啊，我一窍不通。当我们说 be all thumbs， 字面意思是10根手指头都是大拇指，做事情就会笨拙不灵巧嘛，就表示笨手笨脚。所以你可以用 I'm all thumbs 来表达自己一窍不通哦。下一个重点是 cannot 加上动词点点点 enough， 表示点点点都不够，再怎么样也不为过。像是 I can't thank you enough， 就是说再怎么感谢你都不够，也就是感激不尽的意思。好啦，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Spend time socializing. Self-care activities that involve socializing are also beneficial for mental and physical health. According to scientists, talking with friends about what's happening in one's life releases chemicals in the brain that promote well-being. But socializing doesn't have to be limited to conversations. You could also play board games, work on group art projects, or do volunteer work with your friends. Connect with nature. Time spent outdoors can help you lift your mood and look at life from a different angle. So go on a hike, ride your bike, or simply take a walk in the park. Take your eyes off your phone and look at the trees and sky. Pay attention to your diet. When it comes to self-care, the importance of proper nutrition can't be stressed enough. A poor diet can leave you feeling weak and unhappy, while a nutritious one energizes you. Try to cut down on or limit portions of convenience store snacks and fast food, which are typically loaded with salt, sugar, and solid fats. Eat more energy-boosting foods like fresh nuts, fruits, and vegetables. These self-care steps don't require a lot of time or effort. However, they will do wonders for improving your mental and physical health.
Hey guys, I'm Ian.
And I'm Oliver.
And we are playing a game today called Word Drop. We each have 3 cards with words or phrases that we haven't seen yet, and we're going to work them casually into conversation starting now.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So, just thinking about where to begin. I love the holiday season. It's always a great time of year, you know, Christmas and all these fun things where you really get to maybe make gingerbread cookies. You know, I never made any of those as a kid, but they all seem really fun to do. And you can like decorate a Christmas tree. And what you want to do is you want to like involve people in your family to participate in all those activities.
Sure, yeah. I think one of the nice things about Christmas or any kind of holiday is the fact that you're able to kind of combine all sorts of different things. And Christmas especially, you'll stay inside outside of a cold, and you will basically avoid going outdoors.
Yeah. What was your word?
Outdoors.
Outdoors. Okay, there you go. Speaking of staying indoors, right? Like, and during the Christmas holiday season, I guess for us, we have Thanksgiving in the US, you know, and we eat a lot during Thanksgiving. Like there's turkey, there's mashed potatoes, there's cranberry sauce, green beans, ham, lots of cakes like, you know, apple pies, pumpkin pies, lots of different food, right? And when you're sitting there and it's like a 3-4 hour ordeal at this feast, what you really want to do is exercise portion control.
Well, I mean, you might say you want to exercise portion control, but for me, although I'm English, we don't have Thanksgiving, the equivalent is like Christmas, and we also have many dishes, is to try to eat as much as I humanly can. And I do this by preparing myself in advance, and I have to really, not only do I have to eat as much as I can, I have to keep track, make sure I've had enough of each dish. So it's not only a physical exercise, it's also a mental one.
Okay, mental exercise, there you go. Yeah, food is such a weird thing if you think about like buffets, right? Like the idea of buffets, like to go somewhere
let's say in Taiwan it's like 2 hours or whatever, and you just like stuff your face like for 2 hours, you know? Like it's such a weird concept because like you eat a lot and like abnormally so. Like you would never eat that amount of food like if you were just making it at home, you know? And like in the time frame, it's like so much. But I think one thing to do after Thanksgiving usually, or Christmas for lots of people, is that like you really want to cut down on like fat and like sweets after that period is over.
Yeah, I think actually if you're talking about something like a buffet, you're gonna find yourself eating way more than you wanted to. And to be honest, around the holiday season, you'll eat so much stuff. I think when it's over, it's actually, you feel like you've been released from having to eat so much food. You know?
Yeah, I know. Did you gain any weight over Christmas?
Did I?
See you next time.